my two upperclassmen in our pregame talk. I thought their actions were too silent. I thought they were too passive with how they handled freshmen, how they're handling their junior season. And I don't know if they came out in the first half with that urgency, but certainly Dane and Austin in the second half, I don't know what clicked. But they certainly played like upperclassmen. They had the energy, the urgency that was infectious amongst our team. The freshmen got involved and for the first time made shots, so it's a lot easier when they're making shots.
Coach, what clicked in the second half?
I thought we sped them up. I thought it always starts and ends with my teams with defensively, and I thought we sped them up and we finally just made simple plays. And certainly Dane's first 4 minutes of the game was about as hard as Dane has played since I've coached him in practice, in games. So that's what was the difference.
When you said first 4 minutes, I'm sorry, did you mean first 4 minutes of the second half?
Second half, sorry about that.
Right, I was going to ask, I mean, did you see it visibly, the entire level lift? If memory serves, I think he had like 3 steals on 3 straight possessions or something.
Yeah, again, he should be the leader. And at times he is, and at times he's too silent. His actions and his voice are too silent. And he just went and said, this is what upperclassmen do. This is what leaders do. And he acted, and he literally just lifted us up, and the energy and intensity was like a different team from the first half.
Did you say anything at halftime, or
Threw a couple glasses of water, but other than that, no.
Why is he quiet? Is it just
not Dane.
Not yet.
Just not Dane, but doesn't matter. Like, he's got to be different. He's got to come outside himself, because it's hard for freshmen to be vocal and know what they're talking about. I mean, Jerome never shuts up. He gives energy, and Eli's always chirping because he's competitive, but they may not be able to say the right things because they've never been through it, to be honest with you. So Austin and Dane have to come outside themselves, and their actions and their voice and everything they did.
When Seegers went down, was that an ankle? Or?
Not sure, because boy, when he came back, he jacked the 3 on the next possession. So I'm not real sure. It was whatever Eric did. He was a miracle trainer because he looked good to me after it. I guess it was. He rolled his ankle.
what about the job Seegers gave to you? Because you were scuffling in that first half. He hit a couple jumpers to sort of get you back in it a little bit.
He definitely did. When Jerome usually gives us energy, and he has that because he's so good on the ball. I couldn't play him long stretches because he wasn't taking care of the ball, and you're shooting 25% before we got into this night, but kind of found a rhythm. Had 2 open jump shots. He finally hit it. Felt good about himself, and then his pressure on the ball was tremendous. I mean, it was him and Miles played like college guards tonight.
You said in the preseason that you want this team to score more. Is this the kind of balanced offense you want, or would you like a guy maybe scoring 20 and a bunch of guys scoring smaller?
They're not one of our guys may be able to do that, and you'll see Eli can take over for a while, and Dane or Miles, or we have Jerome. We have, when I envisioned it in the summer when I'm sitting on the beach, I envisioned being versatile and being able to score from several different positions, even off the bench. Didn't work like that the first 2 games, but certainly tonight the ball got moving. And we attacked and we shared the ball and made simple plays.
Was the first half a bit of a carryover maybe from Tuesday night, or?
It's carryover of our season so far, of our practices, to be honest with you. Making the same mistakes, not taking care of the ball, not communicating, not, all the little things that we do. Again, our 3 words are details, discipline, and determination. Our details were horrendous the first half, and our discipline was right there next to it.
Defensively, is the second half, especially those first 3-4 minutes, I feel like that's going to spark the freshmen to finally buy into kind of defensive play?
I would hope. I think they're getting better. And again, as everybody know, I'm going to say the P word, process. It's going to be a process of learning how to play hard on every possession and do what I want, jump to the ball as Eli said, it's hard playing really good defense. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. And so, we turned the game to our speed, our level of game, our level of athleticism, and we used our athleticism in depth. But still, anytime you shoot 51%, I don't know if you could say it was a tremendous defensive effort. We had a lot of energy on the defensive side and sped them up, create 22 turnovers, but they still, 51% still not good enough.
I mean, do you attribute shooting, 80% in the second half? Do you attribute that a lot to the defense?
Yes, we scored. I don't know what it was, but we charted. We, for the first time actually had fast break points. I don't know what it was at halftime, and we didn't throw it in somebody's hand. We had a couple alley-oops, and we just made simple plays. We attacked and made simple, but again, it all starts, I think we got back to dictating, to pressuring the ball, to pressuring the wings, to, flying around, and kind of got back to the way I want to play basketball.
Coach, the first half, any part of that 4 games in 9 days, did you think you guys looked tired in the first half, and how much more impressive does that make the second half that you guys are?
I don't think we looked tired. I just think our details stunk. And we lacked that ability to lock in and to do the right thing in every possession. And again, it's a very young team. But when we had chances to close it out, we didn't close it out. We kept on making mistake after mistake, whether it's a simple curl screen and showing on the curl. They scored 6 points, 6 straight points on a down screen curl. That's, defensive basketball 101. So again, it's a process, learning and doing the right things. But no, energy, I don't worry about energy with this team. They're young, they have legs.
How close to perfect was that offense in the second half to what you want it to be in the division?
Really good.
Yeah.
I'm talking about really good. Whenever I called a set, we ran it through. Whenever we went on motion, we didn't shoot off the first pass. We used the offense and we used each other, and we haven't done that yet. Maybe a couple possessions here or there. We haven't sustained that, and we sustained it tonight. And again, Sacred Heart, they may lack some of the athletes, the depth of athletes that we have, but this is a team that has some pretty good players and some skilled players. But I just think it's good that we could overwhelm them with our athleticism and our intensity, because they're going to be good. They're very well coached, and they're going to be a handful in the NEC.
Does that now help you because you have an actual example to show these guys, at least for the next few games, that this is how it's supposed to work?
I would hope so, yes. And we haven't had a stretch of that. We've had possessions. Even in Miami, we stopped them for 5.5 straight minutes, had possessions, but the next 4 minutes seemed like we were complete strangers to each other on a defensive end. So, again, I guess it's a process, and that's why it's so critical to get Dane and Austin Johnson more vocal, more energetic, more in tune with what I want them to do. They have to come outside themselves.
How do you get them to play a full 40 minutes of good basketball, or is that just a process?
It's a process, but it starts with practice. It starts with developing those habits of not easing up, continuing to be locked in understanding that you play for 3 or 4 minutes and then you go sit down and you come right back in. It's my system. And for the first time, I actually had guys raise their fists and say, I need to blow, I need to blow. Jerome Seegers, it's a sign of great maturity that Jerome actually took himself out of the game. Usually he would rest on a defensive end his whole life. So kind of getting 19 years of bad habits out of him will be a process. But they're starting to learn and understand. They like it. They know they're going to get back in 3 or 4 minutes, and they'll be well rested.
Do you think the young guys are struggling to get in the flow, especially offensively, just adjusting to coming out every 3 or 4 minutes?
No. I just think they're adjusting to Division I college basketball. It's not easy. You can't just put your head down and go and get a bucket. There's someone usually sitting in the way, or a 6'9" guy waiting for them. So I think it's more Division I, to be honest with you, than any flow. Because I just tell them, I could care less if you score 3 straight buckets. I sub on the defensive side. If you're tired, you're being selfish if you think you can play defense as hard as I want you to play defense. So just the way we do it here.
One more question, anybody?
You talked about some of the little things that the freshmen, particularly freshman
The
guards
details,
are-
sure.
Right. But I mean, when Miles does what he did today, and it's so subtle and understated, I guess. I mean, when you compare it to what he did 2 nights ago, I mean, is that an example of him just paying attention to detail and not?
It is. He was poised tonight. He jump stopped. He didn't throw those lazy passes on a perimeter. Again, Durant Scott and Malcolm Grant are pretty two. Those guys are going to make a living playing basketball in some league in years to come. But he comes in to watch this film. He wants to be good, and he wants to be our leader. And so tonight, I think it helped him making an early shot to feel good about himself and to carry himself the right way. He certainly has a poise and a confidence about him when he has the ball, when he's leading my team, and that's a great start, I think, for a long career here.
Thank you, Coach.